name is Joshua Coleman. I'm 27 years old. I'm an American who was born in California, Newport Beach, California, raised in Texas ever since I was 1 year old. I graduated from the University of Texas at Arlington with a Bachelor of Arts, with a major in linguistics and a minor in philosophy. I'm just your typical American guy who likes running, pizza, reading, art. One reason I would be excited to be able to be in the GEPIK program is that I would be able to study the Korean culture and art and history in my free time. As you know, linguistics was my major. My favorite aspect of linguistics was sociolinguistics. Sociolinguistics is the study of how culture and history reflect on the language of a people. I would find it absolutely fascinating to be able to spend my free time in your museums, castles, tombs, and monasteries. Though I have no full-time teaching experience, I do have some experience in tutoring. When I was in high school and college, I used to tutor elementary and middle school kids, usually in English and math. I currently give lectures at a free school that I started with some friends of mine. It's called the Arcane Free School. I've given lectures on everything from philosophy to economics and linguistics. The last lecture I gave was on the ethics of the philosopher Nietzsche. In this lecture, we discussed his idea of the will to truth of slave morality and whether or not it is possible to live a moral life. What I've learned from teaching is that it's important to remember to consider that there are several learning types that you're trying to appeal to, that not everybody learns the same way. And it's also important to remember to rely on audience participation to make sure that the students grasp the material before you move on. So what are my strengths as an ESL teacher? I believe my strengths as an ESL teacher go beyond my ability to speak English fluently. Having studied linguistics in college, not only do I know more about English than the average American, I'm a very patient and empathetic person. When I was in school, learning wasn't always easy for me, and wanting to learn wasn't always enough. I feel that if I had a teacher who could really understand me, then it would make it easier for me to learn. I believe that taking the time to connect with students will make it easier for them to learn, and it will make it easier for me to teach. What is my teaching style? I don't have a single teaching style. I find that there are elements of several teaching styles that can be beneficial. I believe that people learn differently, and so it's more important to be able to be versatile and to build a relationship with your students and figure out how they learn best, as opposed to picking a teaching style and sticking with it and trying to force that upon everybody. How would I motivate students to learn English? I realize that English is a notoriously hard language to learn. And in order to motivate students to learn English, I would challenge the more forward-thinking students by letting them know that there's more money to be made if you can speak English. If you have a desire to get out of your socioeconomic class, learning English is a good way to start. Beyond that, I realize also that GEPIK is a public school program and English would be a mandatory subject, and that there are some students who may not be as forward thinking and be able to fully comprehend how much learning English can help them with their future. In cases like this, I would move to try and make my class more entertaining, more interactive, and make it more about them having fun and not so much about drilling English into them. Alright, that's my introduction video. I want to thank you very much for taking the time to consider me, and I hope that you do. And I would very much like to be able to come to Korea and experience everything that your country has to offer, as well as to be able to give back to the world and to share my knowledge of English with your Korean students. Thank you very much.